So this is part 2 of my 13 Reasons Why manifesto. If you haven't seen part 1, do that. Instead of a makeup tutorial this time, I thought I would just wear this Letterman jacket. But first of all, it's 80 sizes too big for me because it belonged to my grandpa. Second of all, it's not from any sport. He got it when he retired, and he was a biologist, so it has a microscope on it. And third, it's really hot, and I think this is going to make a lot of noise on camera, so I'm actually just not gonna wear it. I did make my nails 13 Reasons Why themed. I think I found the exact Sinful Colors shade that Hannah uses in the show. It's called Endless Blue. I also tried to do the Polaroid design from season 2. It didn't turn out that great and you can't really see the numbers. They're not a masterpiece, but hey, neither is this show. Anyways, let's get right back into it. Number 8, the characters on this show are so inconsistent. So Bryce gets a redemption arc in season 3, and the redemption arc isn't even well executed. It's already a decision I don't morally agree with, but they could have at least made it make sense. Bryce acts like a pretty good person in season 3, and seems to completely understand that what he's done is wrong, but we never really see how or why he went through that character change. In real life, I'm pretty sure rapists and abusers don't just turn on a dime like that. They don't just wake up one day realizing that their actions have consequences. At one point, pretty late in the season, he listens to Hannah's tapes with Tony, and if anything, that should have happened before he did anything nice. It would still be a weak explanation for why he's changed, but at least it would be an explanation. Bryce, like many characters in season 3, is written incredibly inconsistently. He mostly acts like a nice, normal person, but he also occasionally still acts like a total monster. One minute he's having a cute paint fight with his mom, a la Kissing Booth.
Oh, I need one. No! No! Damn it!
The next, he's taunting Clay for wanting to ask Ani to homecoming, cruelly implying that he's slept with her. Make up your mind, writers. Is he a good guy now or not? Alex is even worse this season. He's on steroids now, for whatever reason, and despite him being one of the most vocal haters of Bryce in previous seasons...
Fuck you! You fucking rapist!
We discover in season 3 that he was friends with Bryce. They did coke together and visited a prostitute together? You better believe we get another gratuitous sex scene out of this, one of the worst so far. It's so weird because earlier in that same episode we see how much Alex loves Jessica and wants her back, but then he's just hanging out with her rapist on the regular? And then there's Monty, another character who's been depicted as nothing but evil so far, who suddenly gets a little secret gay romance this season. First he hooks up with this guy Winston, and then brutally beats him up. And because this is a stupid show about idiots, Winston, I guess, just didn't care that much about Monty beating him to a bloody pulp, because they have sex again, and share, tender moments of intimacy right before Monty is arrested and murdered in prison. I hate this show. This is how I imagine an episode of this show gets written. I'm gonna act it out for you. Alright guys, we're working on episode 5 today. We're aiming for a runtime of about 59 minutes, so you have 1 hour. Wait, what? Good luck. First time. Oh god, okay, we need to explain why the steroids were in Bryce's car. Alex was on steroids. He was buying them from Bryce. Okay, why would he be getting steroids from Bryce? They were friends. They were friends and they did coke together. What? Why would Alex be Bryce's friend? He hates Bryce. It doesn't have to make sense, it just has to be done. Okay, fine. Oh my god, we still have another 20 minutes to fill. Alex and Bryce went to a hooker together. Come on, we can put in another tasteless 5-minute sex scene. It'll fill time. Okay, it's finally done. Should we, proofread this or anything? There's no time! Number 9, the football team wore their football jerseys to Bryce and Justin's funerals. That is all. Number 10, Zach and Alex are obviously in love and should have ended up together, plus this show's handling of gay people in general is sloppy. hear me out. I do not consider myself a shipper. Okay, those days are long gone. I am no longer a 14-year-old on Tumblr. Thank God. So I'm not even saying this from a Zalix is my OTP, make Zalix canon kind of perspective. This is just what I think the show made weirdly obvious and what I think was a really good opportunity that the writers passed up. So out of nowhere in season 2, Zach becomes Alex's friend. It's not super clear if this is because he feels guilty for not realizing Alex was suicidal, or if he feels guilty for still being friends with the jocks, maybe both. But he went from basically not interacting much at all with Alex during season 1 to carrying his stuff for him, putting up a giant banner on his birthday, being his physical therapist. Speaking of which, I know it's not that deep, but I don't think a high schooler can just do your physical therapy for you. Like, I think that's something you do in a hospital with professionals. Wow, Zach, I didn't know you completed a 3-year accredited PT education program and passed your state licensure exam. Congrats, I hear you make like $85K a year doing that.
You're a fucking doctor now?
Zach and Alex spend a lot of time in the water, and on that note, it's worth mentioning that swimming pools and water in general are popular motifs in the language of homoerotic cinema. I'm not even joking, I'm so serious. Anyways, despite the show insisting that their relationship is completely platonic, Zach and Alex end up having all these strangely intimate experiences together. They're wrestling and Alex gets a boner. Alex is worried about being able to dance with Jessica at the spring fling, so he and Zach slow dance together in his room. It's honestly kind of impressive how well the writers managed to foreshadow a romance between them by accident. Like, I guess it could be intentional queerbaiting, but given how little they interact in season 3, I'm compelled to say that it wasn't. Though I do think there's an argument to be made that season 4 does queerbait them. They finally do acknowledge this tension in the first episode of season 4, but it's very brief. Alex kisses Zach, and Zach immediately shuts it down.
I don't... I'm not into guys,
I know.
or else
I know.
So it's like, screw you if you've been picking up on this relationship developing for 3 seasons. And it's weird because they continue to hang out and have those intimate scenes together throughout the rest of the season.
I'm not gonna kiss you again if that's what you're hoping. Shit's so fucked up.
Yeah, you think?
I loved him. I still do.
Yeah? What did you love about him exactly?
He's like the kindest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Because really, I'm smart, and I'm kind, and I have people that love me.
Well, yeah.
Come on. Zach! Why are you with me and not with Charlie?
That kiss was embarrassing. It was a disaster. But right before that, I almost fell. You pulled me back from the ledge. And I'll never forget the feeling of your hands grabbing me and keeping me safe. I needed it. I didn't know it.
The kiss wasn't a disaster. It was a nice kiss, per se.
Wait, it was?
Yeah.
I don't love Justin, but I love you and you love him. So what the fuck, Zach?
Like, if you're trying to dismiss the notion of romance entirely, Why on earth would you keep bringing it up? After watching season 4, I'm starting to understand why fans started a petition to get a spin-off series about Zach and Alex. The show even goes so far as to have Alex realize that he's interested in guys in season 4, but instead of getting with Zach, who he's gotten really close to and has this great foundation of trusting friendship with, he ends up having a brief relationship with Winston, the villain, and then out of nowhere dating Charlie, some guy we only met in season 3. I'm sorry, but who is Charlie? We don't know Charlie. He spends most of season 3 being impressionable and complicit to Monty before very quickly joining the main character's side, after which you're just supposed to accept that he's a part of the group now. You've barely seen him interact with anybody, but he's out here bringing cookies to Justin's welcome back party like he's everybody's best friend. I don't hate Charlie as a character. I admit he grew on me in season 4.
Oh my god.
I just think this whole plotline was very rushed, and he and Alex don't have much chemistry. They look more like siblings together than a couple. And no offense to the actor, but I don't love him. He feels very Broadway to me, like his acting has that super expressive, kind of over-the-top style. He just looks like a 30-year-old who should be in Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway. I know that's kind of specific, and I can't really explain why I feel that way, but I do. This show kind of has a problem with gay people in terms of representing them accurately, pairing actors that actually have chemistry, and giving them healthy, meaningful relationships.
You gonna beat the shit out of me now?
I said I was sorry.
Which is weird, seeing as the show is kind of obsessed with gay people. Almost every character has some kind of homosexual experience at some point.
Tyler took. Proof.
There you are. Guys, this is my husband, Josh.
I'm Ryan.
Winston.
Oh, I know.
I'm now realizing that this is the longest point in the video, so that's embarrassing. Anyways, Alex should have ended up with Zach. Catch me signing that Zalex petition. I'm just kidding. But, number 11, the humor is bad. The best way to exemplify this is just to show it.
I'm sure Hillary is awesome, but
If we're gonna be great friends, you should probably know my name is Hannah.
what did I call you?
Hillary.
And that's not your name?
No, Hannah.
Well, crap. I already got your best friend necklace engraved with Hillary.
Wait, you think Justin's hot?
Of course I do. I'm not blind or like chemically castrated.
Hey, bullies, and you guys
Stop banging the hammer.
You know what? It's called a gavel.
It's called Unknown World.
Yeah? What's it about?
It's unknown, so.
Can we give them sperm instead of piss? Because I like to yank one off before the game.
Once you told him, he'd go all cray-cray. Clazy. No, I like cray-cray.
Okay, no.
I have a few granola camp cookies.
I mean, when has a bunch of people walking out actually ever accomplished anything?
Actually, I feel like historically it has accomplished things.
Number 12, the technical elements are bad too. I recently saw on a Bollywood subreddit, I don't remember why, they were talking 13 Reasons Why on a Bollywood subreddit. I saw somebody saying that 13 Reasons Why had some of the best cinematography that they had ever seen on a TV show. And I was like, did we watch the same show? The visuals are so bland. Shot, reverse shot. The camera is tracking two people while they're walking very slowly. Medium shot. Medium shot. Medium shot. And even when they do try to experiment, it's bad. Like, they do a bad job. Like season 3, to differentiate between the past and the present, they did this obnoxious dark color grading on the present. It's also in a different aspect ratio for whatever reason. And when they switch back and forth, the color changes and the aspect ratio like slides into the new one. It's so ugly. I have no idea what possessed them to do that. Similarly, in season 4, they try to be all edgy with the editing, like to be scary or something. But more than anything, the result just reminded me of the critically acclaimed Indian film Mrs. Serial Killer.
Or you.
Also, the use of music is bad. With the exception of a couple memorable songs, which are only really memorable because the show uses them over and over again, the show rarely uses good songs, let alone ones that suit the narrative. It's weird because music is such a big part of YA media. Even a lot of bad YA movies and shows have good soundtracks. Sex Education, a good Netflix teen show, uses dozens and dozens of good, well-known songs, and uses them in a very apt way. Otis is masturbating, I Touch Myself by the Divinals. A couple is having trouble making progress in their relationship, Road to Nowhere by Talking Heads. A character is learning to make better choices and being a kinder person, I Can Change by Ezra Furman. I'm not saying they should be unsubtle with their use of music, but they could at least make the songs good. Did Netflix give 13 Reasons Why a way smaller music budget? Maybe they just blew all their money on gratuitous sex scenes. Number 13, the dialogue is so awful. Like the humor, I think the best way to convey this point is to just show it to you.
So could I maybe get your number or something?
Or something? So I could give you my number, or I could just give you some fake nuclear launch codes.
You have a cane and a scar. All my scars were inside.
Why did I do this to myself?
Just maybe don't get your psychological insights from Monty. That's like getting your clothes from Walmart.
Well, I get my clothes from Walmart all the time.
Shut up, Justin. Yeah, his Z-Man rocks.
A Z-Man rocks.
Yeah.
What's in it?
Everything the Z-Man could get his hands on.
Also, once you start paying attention to it, you start to realize how repetitive this show is. For example, the writer's favorite word is shit.
I didn't want my shit to get in the way of your shit.
Your shit is my shit.
We share shit.
So many characters respond to shocking news by saying, shit, character name.
Shit, Clay.
Even Monty noticed.
Your boy Clay's in some shit. Hey, Clay in shit. He should change his name to Shit.
Dude, you're so fucking stupid.
Number 14, 3 words, senior camping trip. This episode deserves its own point. Season 4, Episode 4, Senior Camping Trip, is the lowest rated episode of the entire series, currently sitting at a dismal 5.2 on IMDb. And I think that's just a travesty. Senior Camping Trip may, in fact, be one of the best episodes. Some of you may already know that I'm a bit of a connoisseur of so bad it's good media, and this episode checks about every box for me. Is it a very well-written, subtle, profound episode? Maybe not. However, did it make my sister and I laugh harder than we've laughed in months? Yes. Just watch this scene. Watch it play out.
Fuck this, I'm out.
Alex!
The image of Jessica pulling her hand out of that stump, covered in disgusting CGI maggots, immediately followed by Alex projectile vomiting. This is the second projectile vomiting scene in the season, by the way. Watching this for the first time, I actually laughed so hard I cried. Senior Camping Trip turns into like a slasher movie? There's a spooky ghost legend.
The Legend of Burnham Woods. Some kids were partying in like ancient times, like the 80s, and one of them was drunk and fell into a ravine, cracked his head open.
Everyone's having visions, not just Clay. Clay falls down a hole and has a fever dream. Alex falls and almost dies, again. It's everything I loved about Season 4. This episode is amazing. It should be the highest rated in the series. Now, before wrapping up, I just want to go into a few other things that I've been thinking about but didn't really warrant their own points. Alex and Charlie watching It's a Wonderful Life. There's this scene where Alex and Charlie get high at a party, and for some reason they're watching It's a Wonderful Life with the sound off, like teenagers do. And Alex says this.
Do you think it really is a wonderful life?
It just made me laugh. Do you think it really is a Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan? My sister and I think the opening of the tapes is really funny. Hannah says hey so melodically that when we first watched the episode, we thought it was the beginning of a song.
Hey, it's Hannah.
Hey, it's Hannah. And now we say that just about every time we say hey. My sister and I also made a drinking game for this show. It goes as follows. Drink every time the song The Killing Moon plays. Give yourself to him. Shit, character name.
Shit, Clay.
Disproportionately angry reaction from Alex.
Fuck Justin!
Chug every time they replay, hey, it's Hannah.
Hey, it's Hannah.
Someone is retconned into being gay. Visible facial injuries.
Charlie, get in there.
Principal is a dismissive dick.
Please, the situation is being addressed. Let's get back to class.
Alex falls.
Fuck it off!
Weird, silly Justin moment.
Welcome to Monet's. How can I help you today?
Every time Alex should have kissed.
Well, yeah.
Shit take on a classic movie.
Well, this 2001 thing is supposed to be a masterpiece, so...
God, it's, so boring.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but at least it's long. You should still see it, though, so at least when pretentious people talk about it, you can yawn really loudly.
Independent woman assertion.
I just need you to know that you didn't break me.
Tasteless, drawn-out sex scene. Cars. Almost gets hit, or runs into one. Speaking of Alex falling, I just have to laugh at how often he falls on this show.
And at least you can walk and fuck girls!
Oh, shit.
Oh. Fuck it off! Ah.
It's like whenever they need to think of a conflict for a scene involving Alex, they just have him fall down. And honestly, we don't even know that much about Alex as a character. There's that scene where Winston says that he loves Alex because he's, quote, the kindest person I know.
He's like the kindest person I've ever met.
Oh, really? Let's see some clips of Alex being the kindest person we know.
Fuck you! You fucking rapist!
Fuck you, Zach.
Okay.
Go home.
What the fuck are you doing? Hit me, you freak! Stop! Stop it! Let me go! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I fucking hate you! Fuck Justin! Fuck you guys!
I'm not saying he's necessarily mean or a bad person or anything, but we don't really know Alex to be particularly kind, or, for that matter, particularly anything. We don't know any of his interests, except that he's apparently obsessed with the song The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot.
Alex Standall is obsessed with this song, The Wreck of Edward Fitzgerald.
Edmund Fitzgerald. Classic.
All we really know is that he's prone to angry outbursts and he falls a lot. And he's gay. Winston is such an over-the-top villain. Winston comes right out of the gate with this mustache-twirling, over-the-top Bond villain style. He might as well be stroking a long-haired white cat in every scene.
Every one of your friends wants to say something they don't say. So which one of them killed Bryce?
He's just so evil. Makes me laugh. Season 4 kinda said all cops are bastards, and I respect it. There are now cops at Liberty High School. The main characters hate them. Cops are racially profiling students, they're sexually harassing Jessica, they're staging a school shooting that traumatizes everybody. There's literally an episode where the students walk out in protest of the over-the-top security at school, and the school sends out cops in full riot gear that start attacking children. Not to mention Alex's dad, the deputy sheriff, is literally covering up a murder for his son. Talk about corruption. I just appreciated how anti-cop this season was. How I wanted the series to end. So before I finished season 4, I kept seeing thumbnails for these YouTube videos saying, like, the end of 13 Reasons Why season 4 is crazy. And it turns out they were mostly only talking about Justin dying, I think. Which, yeah, Justin dying is a crazy thing that happened, but it's not really a crazy ending. It's not what the series conclusively ended on. So if we're talking crazy endings, I just want to describe what I kept hoping would happen. So for the whole season, we've been watching Clay be totally unhinged, very mentally unstable. And really the whole series we've seen him have visions, have nightmares, etc. So what if, at the very end of the last episode, Clay suddenly wakes up in a hospital bed? He looks around, he's like, where am I? What's going on? The nurse walks in, and it's Hannah Baker, only she has Catherine Langford's native Australian accent. So she's like, Clay, you're finally awake. He's like, what? Where are Justin and Alex and Jessica and Tony? And Hannah's like, you've been in a coma for 4 years. And it turns out it's all been a fever dream. And while he's trying to make sense of this situation, Hannah is like, well, I hope you're ready for your first day of high school tomorrow. And Clay looks at the camera like, now that would be a crazy ending. Okay, so at this point in the writing process for this video, I realized that I had coincidentally written 14 points. I wasn't trying for 13 or anything, but I think it's kind of funny that I got so close. I don't think I've ever watched a show that made me as angry as certain moments on 13 Reasons Why. It's unusual for me to be yelling at my screen. I'm honestly kind of impressed, not only that the writers could be so consistently incompetent for 4 years, but also that so many young teens could be into this show for that long. I'm surprised they weren't bored out of their minds by the first season. Look who it is. I was going to say I feel bad for the actors because, you know, this must be a really embarrassing thing to have be the highlight of their career, but then I remembered that they're all making upwards of $100,000 per episode, and I felt less bad. It's definitely for the best that this show is over. Maybe these actors can finally move on to bigger and better things. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go fall down.
And at least you can walk and fuck girls. Oh shit. Fucking off!